Hello, welcome to Jason's Jeep Garage. Today, if you live in a salty area like I do in Chicago, you're going to want to take care of this on your Jeep. If you've got these body panels to protect from rocks, salt will get under here and start corroding your paint. These little screws will start to get rust, and you don't want rust, and you don't want corrosion. So today, I'm going to do a little spring maintenance to get that salt out from underneath there. The kit I have on my Jeep, it's a 2020 JL, is made by Poison Spyder, and this is what I got on for my side armor. And it uses a 4mm wrench, so I'm just gonna manually take these out slowly, one by one, and I'll come back when I get all of these taken out. I don't like to use any power tool on these because these are just rev nuts, and I don't want anything to come loose or slip out. I like to look at the condition, and there's no rust. Always make sure there's no rust. And I will then again come back when I have all these taken out. All right, I've taken all the bolts out. I'm just going to carefully take out the last two. Slowly pull this away from the body, just so I don't scratch anything up. And that's good balance on there. And then I'm balancing this whole armor kit on this last bolt here. I take this last one out. Switch hands. And then you see all that salty crud behind that panel? So next step is you got to wash all that salty crud out of there and give it a good cleaning and put a nice layer of wax on everything, and we'll go ahead and go on to the next step. McGuire's Quick Detail. Not an affiliate, not an advertiser. If you're wondering how I got that red reflective piece, it's just your red reflective sticker you can make any decals out of. That's how I got it from behind that spider emblem to stand out. All that salty crud, gotta get rid of that. It will dissolve your paint. So one of the things with my Jeep, everything on it is something that I did myself. I bought a base model Jeep, and all of my upgrades are things I've done. It's not bought, but I built it myself. Just a little tip: if you are putting on this body armor kit yourself, and you've got to put these rev nuts in here. So my recommendation, if you are putting these in here, so what I started to do with this, you have to drill one hole at that side of the car, and first you have to line up your plate, your armor, tape it in place where you want it, duct tape, mark your first hole, drill it. And then to install these rev nuts, it's going to take a long time, but if you want to do it right, this is what you have to do. You have to drill out your pilot hole in the center, and then drill out the size hole of the rev nut that you need. Then at that point, you got to, when you got your hole drilled out for your rev nut, you need to clean that out, make sure there's no burrs. You have to go back, you have to prime the inside of that hole, prime the outside of that hole, and let it dry. Come back later, paint the inside of the hole, paint the outside of that hole, color matching paint, it doesn't matter, you're not going to see it because it's going to have the lip of the rev nut on there. Let it dry. And then when it comes time to installing the rev nut in there, you're going to take some RTV. I would recommend a chemical resistant, some type of RTV that stands up to a high corrosive. I don't have any on my shelf right now to show you, but some type of high corrosive resistant RTV, and you're going to put a little bit on the inside of that hole, on the outside of that hole, put a little bit on the lip of the rev nut, and on the teeth of the rev nut. Only use rev nuts that have the knurled teeth on it. Do not use smooth ones. Use the knurled rev nuts. And have the RTV in there, and then go ahead, use your rev nut tool. There's 100 videos on YouTube to show you how to do that. And then put it into place, and then let it dry. This is going to take you forever to put these in here my way. You could do it in an hour if you bring it to some shop. That's why I built everything myself and not bought, because if you buy it, your Jeep's going to fall apart. If you do it yourself, it's going to last forever. This Jeep's already 5 years old through Chicago winters, and I have no corrosion and no rust on this. Then, after you get that one over there to dry, put that screw in, line this back up, and then work on this one. Do the same thing. Drill the hole, prime the inside, prime the outside, paint the outside, paint the inside, put your RTV inside and outside, use the knurled rev nut, put the RTV on the rev nut, put it in place, let it dry. Put the two in, and then make one in the middle. And you're going to do this one by one by one by one. And then after you get a couple in, then you could do the next one a little bit further in, do one over here, same thing. But to prevent rust, you have to, after you drill that hole, you have to primer it, you have to paint it, and you have to use a corrosive resistant primer. And that's how you're gonna not get rust. When you're installing this, so on these, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this into focus, but I have on each one of these here, I use these silver anti-seize. So all these have the silver anti-seize on it. So I don't know if you could see in there, but every single one of these has a silver anti-seize. That's how I got them out so easy. If you're living in Chicago area or rust area, salty area, you're going to want to use the silver anti-seize. That's how you're not going to get rust. So I'm going to go on and put a quick layer of wax on the armor piece and on the lip, and I will be back. Just using some McGuire's wax. Not affiliate, not a sponsor. But just a light layer of that on there. Not doing any buffing. Just getting a layer on there. Just enough. Get a nice thick protective coat on there. I'm going to do the same thing to the armor on the back side of it. I'm not too worried about scratches. It's a Jeep. But I hate rust. Alright, that should be enough time. Try it out. There we go. Here's the part that's going to show you my crazy obsession about rust. Silver anti-seize. Q-tip. Get inside every hole. Every single one. Get that silver anti-seize in there. Prevents rust. Put a little bit in the end of the Q-tip. Get it in there. Give it a twist. Swirl. Put on a Q-tip. Give it a little twist. Swirl. Q-tip. Get it in there. Twist. Swirl. Do every single one this way. Get that anti-seize in there. Twist and swirl. Alright, here comes the part of putting the armor back on. So the screws I got, they've already got enough anti-seize on them. They're really clean on the back. No rust on these. These are stainless steel. So we're already checking them out when we took it off. So now we're going to take this, and I'm not too worried about cleaning off the wax too much on the back of this. I'm going to find a nice balance point, and I'm going to start one of these in the middle here. Just get them threads started. I'm going to take another one here. Just get another one started. And that's it. You got two started. Now you're not going to screw them down all the way, but you're just going to get them just barely threaded on just to get them started. And I'll come back. Now it's just a point of snugging them all in. And I do all of this by hand. Just to get the heads flush mounted, but I don't tighten them all All I want to do is tighten them just enough to get the heads flush mounted into the armor. So this is not an easy DIY shady tree job, but it is a fun one if you take your time. If you want to do it right, it's not a weekend job. So there, everything is tight, everything is flush mounted. So now you can come back. And all you gotta do is just tighten them up. Just to make it snug. Because you don't want to pop the rev nut loose. Don't use any power tools. Keep your Milwaukees, your Makitas, your DeWalt's, your Bosch drill, put away. This is not a power tool job. Just hand, just a little tiny snug, just to hold it in place. So I've seen some people, if you've seen some videos, some people put RTV behind this. Permanently put this in place to keep the sand and the mud and the salt out from behind here. But I would like to be able to take this apart, to clean behind there, to make sure none of these are corroding or getting rusty. And there you have it. That is my process of keeping my Chicago Salt Life Jeep rust free on rock armor. And now I have to do the passenger side, and I got the same thing on the back. I got the rear bumper delete, so I got armor on the back. So I got the passenger side and the back bumper I got to do now. All the same process, but as you can see, I am rust free. Thank you for watching. If you're looking for more small tips on this type of stuff and my built but not bought Jeep, subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. I'd like to slowly grow this channel and share some of my inside tips. And thank you for watching. Be safe. Have a good day. Have a good night. Bye. Continue watching this video if you want to watch me change the other rock guards. Thank you for watching. So if you stayed through and watched the whole video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoyed this content, like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching all the way through. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was entertaining. Hope maybe you learned something. And have a good day. Have a good night. Hope you're safe. Thank you.